Well, I'm ReyMenn. I'm an art major. I'm in my 4th year here, and I study exclusively drawing. As a kid, I would wake up at like 7 a.m. or 8 to watch cartoons, and I loved cartoons so much that they were everywhere. I would draw them, and I would just have them there with me, you know. As art changed through television, I started seeing like, man, like I feel like I could do better. I feel like I could change it to something I do like. And so that's where it started branching out. That's where I started drawing my own versions of cartoons. At a very young age, I just picked up a crayon and I haven't put it down. 2 years ago is when I started taking more in-depth drawing classes and also learning things on my own. I started buying more books about anatomy or drawing in different styles or tattoos or anything that I could really, get my hands on. I mostly do digital art just because I feel like that's where I'm most comfortable, and there's so many possibilities, I guess the way I see things are best portrayed, through a tablet and a monitor. I mostly do video game art. I do stuff like Pokemon or Nintendo related art. If anything, more pop culture art. Yeah, what I do is on DeviantArt, I'll post a piece, and then I'll post it on my Facebook page, ReyMenn, and then it'll just go to my Instagram, it'll go to my Twitter, and on YouTube I post speed paints of my pieces, and it's just a recording of me working on them, and so you could see the process. The biggest thing that's recently happened is that my piece was actually chosen to be in a gallery in the Honors College. Earlier this semester, I got an email from a digital art teacher of mine who said, hey, there's this gallery out here that has all this stuff about Dia de los Muertos. And so I ended up making this piece called Perla, Madre de la Muerte, or Dama de la Muerte. It's a digital file. It took me about 9 hours to paint because it's based off an older painting called Lady with a Pearl Earring. It's something that's accustomed to my culture, appropriated to my culture. So it got a lot of great acclaim, and it sold 24 hours after it got here. It sold for $200. So the whole experience of making a gallery piece has just been, surreal, but it's exciting because now, it's not something that I can say, man, I'll never be in a gallery, because I've done it. Now I can keep doing it, and it's only going to help my art more. That's why this piece means a lot to me, because it's the front runner. I can look back at this at whatever point in time and say, man, this piece was the very first one that was in a gallery. I have more projects on the way. I'm actually working on an app game called A Shot in the Dark, and it's a very simple, very classically influenced, like classic gaming. I have a small group already together. I have different artists, different writers, different musicians, and we're all very excited. The project is still in the extremely early stages, but the morale is there, the potential is there, and that's what we're all excited about. It's still in the making. It's called We'll Draw for Food, and what I want to do is I want to get like a food drive going. I know for winter a lot of people are literally starving, and so what I want to do is I want to set up somewhere and be able to have, hey, if you give some food, I will draw you, and then we'll take that to whatever shelter it needs to go to. It was kind of something random that I thought up of. Originally, I thought it was going to be a project, like I thought the little saying was funny, like we'll draw for food. And I was like, man, what if I just went out somewhere and drew people and asked for food? And yeah, it was funny, but I was like, wait, like why not do something with that, I'm communicating with more people, and I'm branching out, like you said, with the gallery, branching out to the students here, with the We'll Draw for Food project, branching out to the community, and hopefully I can keep doing projects like that, keep trying to give back as much as I can by doing what I love. And I want to be able to be challenged. That's also another thing I'm excited for later in my career, seeing where I can go. I think one thing that everyone has to understand is that there's always going to be someone better than you, and you can't let that be the reason that you don't progress. If you're passionate about it, then you'll find a way, because if you weren't, then you just find an excuse, you know? So really just work without comparing yourself to anybody. I want to have like my own studio, you know, and just walk into a room that I rented or built and just have like, that's what I worked on yesterday and that's what I'm working on today, and you know, I have 8 hours to be here, you know, let's get to fucking work. Here, like I'm just, like I said, I'm just surviving. Like I just have my own little speck here, but I'm not fully immersed. Like this isn't my final form.